Hello Pisces, welcome to your Tarotscope for September for 2015. I want to say thank you to everyone who's been subscribing and sharing and liking my videos and all of your comments. I really appreciate it, and I really love seeing your comments, and just want to thank you guys all for subscribing. As well as those who've been booking readings with me. I've really been enjoying those, and I'm getting bookings from all over the world, so it's really special for me, and I really enjoy it. And also, I just wanted to let you know, one of my clients suggested a new format for me, which I love the idea of, where she requested a pre-recorded video. And that was a great format. So if you're not available to do a reading, over the phone or over the internet, I can always pre-record one for you and then post it with a password so that you can access it at your leisure. So if you want to do one of those, feel free to book a reading with me. I do it for the hour long or the half an hour long, and then just specify that you'd like a pre-recorded video. So I'm always available to do that. So Pisces, this is for you for September 2015. And those of you who've been asking about this deck, this is the Greer deck. I really enjoy it and I really like it. I love the imagery, I love the vibrancy of the colors. And so I've been getting a lot of questions about which deck I use. And so I'm posting a link in the description about this deck, and you can check it out there. So Pisces, this is for you for September. Let's just see if those are all in there. Okay. Also Pisces, there is a full moon in Pisces as I'm doing these readings. So it's a full moon and it's a super moon in Pisces, and it's at 7 degrees, the Sabian symbol for 7 degrees, which is a light shaft illumines a large cross that's lying on the rocks amidst the sea and mist, surrounded by sea and mist. So I'm going to put a link to that Sabian symbol, and I'm also going to put a link to someone who speaks about that Sabian symbol, because Pisces, this super full moon is in your first house of identity, and so there's a lot that's going on for you with it. It's also, I believe, conjunct Neptune in Pisces, so there's a lot of like sea and mist energy, and with that Sabian symbol being a shaft of light that illumines a large cross on the rocks, there's a lot of ways in which we are attending to our own values amidst the chaos of regular life. So it's a very powerful identifying full moon for you, Pisces. And I'm going to put those links in the description below so you can read more about that. But I just wanted to mention that because I loved the imagery for it. And because this is a super full moon, full moons are culminations of what was begun at the Pisces new moon 6 months ago in March. So think back to what it is that you were beginning back in March. I believe it was on the 20th, and it was quite a special new moon as well. There was a lot going on. It was first day of spring. It was there was just a lot of new moon in Pisces. It was I think there was also an eclipse, so we're in eclipse season again. Lots of stuff going on. So I'm going to put links for you below, but I just wanted to mention that before I started your reading. So let's take a look and see what's happening for Pisces in the first part of the month. It looks like there is a fire sign involved. This King of Wands is traditionally Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, and he's in a position of authority. So he is, this could be either your boss or your landlord or a supervisor or someone who has an authority position, even like a coach or a mentor. But it looks like he's in reverse, so there's some way in which you're not seeing eye to eye with him, or that he has some complaints about you, or he is kind of not viewing you in a great way right now, Pisces. Or there's some sort of conflict with King of Rods He could also be a father figure, or if you're in a partnership with a fire sign or a King of Rods type of person who's in authority. King of Rods is usually bold, enigmatic. He does things in his own eccentric, kind of fun way. He doesn't do anything by the normal way of doing things, but he's in a reverse position in the first part of the month. And it's also, he's looking at the Four of Swords in reverse. And what Four of Swords means is taking a step out of battle. So this is all about collecting your thoughts and resting and regaining your strength. This Four of Swords is all about taking a time out. So the fact that it's in a reverse position tells me that it's in shadow, or it's being blocked, or that you're not allowing it. So what this says to me is that at the beginning of the month, you really want or need a timeout, but for some reason, in relation to the King of Rods, King of Fire, you're not allowing yourself to take this time out because he's kind of like looking at you, or he's saying it's not time to rest. It's not time to take a time out. It's not time to regain your strength, but yet it may be what you really need, Pisces. So I'm going to invite you to consider, especially with this being, this is interesting. See how there's this with sea and mist here, or there's a misty surroundings. With that Pisces full super moon in your first house of identity, you may need to take a time out and think about, like, who am I? What's going on for me? What are my values? Where do I need to gather strength? Where have I been fighting in a battle and I need to just stop and take a time out and then get ready to go back into battle? I'm going to invite you to consider, are you allowing yourself that time to reflect or gather your strength or not? Because there is a new beginning being handed from the sky right to you, Pisces. So if you are able to access that resting and collecting your strength, there's a new life and a new lifestyle, new money. Sometimes Ace of Coins can be a new job. It's a new beginning, and it's being handed to you from the universe. So it's your job to see that and embrace it, and actually it's your job just to receive it, because the universe wants to hand it to you. And aces are new beginnings, so this is new, fresh, vital energy. I even love the looks of this card. It's like fresh air, and it's also in line with this High Priestess. Funny enough, I'm going to get to this, but look at the middle of the month. This is all you, Pisces. Queen of Cups, that's Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. This is a water sign, and High Priestess is all about intuition. In the center of the month, you've got a lot of intuition going. I'm going to come back to that, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the moon first here. But what I'm noticing is that this Ace of Coins is right in line with High Priestess. So you have a lot of intuition about what it will take to create this new lifestyle, this new job, this new source of income, this new beginning, fresh energy. Could be new money, new home, new everything's clean and beginning. Just receive the blessings that are coming to you. Moon energy. This is saying the moon is all about accessing our subconscious. So this lobster is coming up from the deep waters of emotion, of the subconscious, and it's coming up to expose itself. So these are deep feelings coming up, finally coming out of the water to expose themselves to the light. And it's not the light of the sun, but it's the light of the moon. So it's coming up where it's safe, where it's not too bright, where it's like sort of like gentle, soft light. And the dog and the wolf here represent the domestic side and the wild side. So it's trying to find balance. How do we let these deep emotions come up, and then between these two solid pillars and exposed to the light of the moon, these feelings that are coming up. So this is allowing feelings from the subconscious to come up and actually addressing them and finding a way to let them come up in a balanced way. What the moon in reverse tells me is that you're not actually allowing your subconscious feelings to come up. You're repressing them. You're hiding them. You're feeling something. You have these stirrings of feelings deep inside, but you're not actually allowing to come up. And because that could be that there's fear or there's doubt, or that you're afraid that if you if you let these things out, that it triggers things, that it will be too wild, or that it's not tame enough, or, you know, there's some sort of reason in which you're having fear or illusion about, or doubt or hesitancy about letting these deep subconscious feelings come up. So I'm going to invite you, Pisces, to allow those. I'm seeing also, interestingly, that by allowing those to come up, I'm seeing a correspondence between this moon and this new coin. It's sort of like they're two sides of the same coin. So in order for you to kind of access through the moon and get to this gate of this new life, you have to let this come up. You have to let these subconscious feelings not see the light of day, but at least see the gentle, soft light of the moon. So that's the first part of the month for you, Pisces. And then in the middle of the month, like I said, here's the center of the middle of the month for you. You have Queen of Cups and you have High Priestess. So this is definitely representing you in one way or the other. Pisces is you can see all the blue watery imagery in these cards. There are lots of blue tones and colors. This High Priestess is all about trusting our intuition, seeing behind the veil, accessing information that is not readily available. You're usually very good at this, Pisces. And so is Queen of Cups. She's incredibly intuitive. And also, the sun is at Virgo. 7 degrees is the Sabian symbol of the harem. So this could be a way that you are actually connecting with another intuitive individual. If this represents you, Pisces, as Queen of Cups, you may be either accessing your own intuition, or this could be another woman who you are creating this dynamic with of, you know, here's our spiritual group. So one way or another, there's a lot of intuition available to you in the middle of the month. It says trust your instincts. You have a lot of inner knowledge. You have this compassionate feeling towards all of humanity. And so it's just like drink from the cup of your own spirituality. Trust your spiritual knowledge is the middle of the month here. Those are really beautiful cards. This is a Major Arcana card, and this is a royal card that represents you. So trust that, Pisces. It's surrounded by, there's two things that it's surrounded by. This is a dilemma and a decision and a stalemate that you're not willing to make. 2 of Swords says, I just can't make a decision. I'm checking out. Like, it's too hard to go one way or the other, so I'm just going to not make any decision at all. And what that does is it forces a stalemate. It makes her blind. It makes her immobile. And you can see there's, again, a lot of moon energy happening here. Here's the moon in this card, here's the crescent moon. I mean, here it's all night and moon energy. Moon represents the subconscious and trusting in the divine feminine and trusting your emotions and your intuition. So I'm going to say the way that 2 of Swords resolves, the way out of 2 of Swords energy is to actually make a decision, put down one of the swords and step away and, you know, remove your blindfold. And that way you have direction and action. As long as you're checked out, as long as you're not willing to make a decision, you're stuck. And this is in reverse, so you may be kind of like not even aware that you're stuck. You may not even be aware that you're checked out. But this is what's surrounding the situation. This is what's blocking you from accessing your intuition. What this card is telling me in particular with all this moon energy is that you need to go with the sword and make the choice that is along with your emotions, along with your subconscious, along with this lobster wanting to come out to the moon. You need to trust that, you need to make a decision, and you need to take action in order to break out of this 2 of Swords energy. Because you may not even be aware, you may not be aware that you're doing that, but I think Queen of Cups knows on a deep level. She's looking at 2 of Swords, and she may be saying, look at how stuck you are. You need to get out of this. You need to make a decision and break out of it, and you need to go with what your emotions are telling you. And then, again, just trusting your intuition, relying on your emotional side. There's actually a little crescent moon here, too, so there's lots of moon energy. And I'm going to say this... even though these are crescent moons here, this full moon energy in your first house, the beginning part of the month, is what's going to lead you to new moon stuff, which is new beginnings. And that's what all of this is about. So it's perhaps around the time of the new moon that you're going to be able to make some decisions. This also, again, right around the new moon, it's right there on the card, is saying this is Eight of Cups. And what Eight of Cups is about is moving on from something that you've put a lot of energy into, a lot of TLC. All these 8 cups lined up is sort of blood, sweat, and tears that you've put into something. But this Eight of Cups is also feeling weary, feeling tired, feeling ready to move on from something, feeling ready to leave something and go on a new journey. So this could be a job, this could be a house, this could be a project or a lifestyle. It's just something you put a lot of energy into over the past while, and you're willing to walk away. In fact, you're ready to walk away. So I'm going to say right around the new moon, Pisces, is when you have to make this decision. Trust your instincts, trust your emotion, go with the sword that's closest to the moon. Trust your inner knowledge and walk away from what it is that you are, kind of feeling like it's time to move on from. So that's the middle part of the month for you. I'll have to look up when the new moon is coming, but I'll put it in the links below, and then you'll know around that time. That's when it's really coming to the surface to make a decision. Then in the end part of the month, or the late part of the month, you have Eight of Coins energy, which is worker bee. This is the artisan. This is someone who loves their work. This is someone who works away, and creates these coins and then puts them on the wall to display. So not only is he creating wealth for himself, but he's also like in love with his work, and they're kind of like works of art. So this card is receiving and gaining material reward for effort over time. That's what Eight of Coins is about. So that's saying your hard work is going to pay off. There is some way in which Five of Clubs is showing up for you, and that's a little bit of competitiveness. It can go two ways. The high side of Five of Clubs is playfulness. So that's turning conflict into humor or play. And it can be competitiveness, like you have competition, or it can be open conflict and warring. But it can also be like turning conflict into just like play. So this could be kids playing, or it could be people fighting. It just depends on how you're seeing it. But it may have to do with someone who is presenting themselves as a rescuer, or the guy who's going to come in on the white horse. In the upright position, this is Six of Wands. This is success, victory, triumph. I'm wearing the crown of laurels. I'm the winner. I'm the hero. I'm the rescuer. I'm coming in on my white horse to save the day. But he's actually in the reverse position. So it's how is he misrepresenting himself? Is he really the hero? Is he really the guy who's going to rescue everything? You're kind of in conflict with him in regard to work. But it may just be that it's really not that serious. Maybe it's just play, and it looks like conflict, but it's really, you can if you look at it in a playful manner, you may be able to just sort of say, oh, it's the Emperor's new clothes. That's one of the meanings of this card, is like, oh, he thinks he's the emperor, but he's not wearing any clothes. It becomes kind of funny in comedy. Instead of open conflict, you can choose to see humor in the situation and read it that way. Also here, you have, in some ways, you may be being a little bit defensive, because this is Nine of Wands. It could be either defensiveness, or it could just mean that you're a survivor. Nine of Wands is someone who keeps getting knocked down and keeps getting back up. So it could be that, and he also feels paranoid and like always like he has to defend his territory. It's funny because I'm seeing this character echoed in this character. You can see they both have the plumed hat. They both have these gloves on. They're both carrying wands. They both have this red cloak. So I'm kind of seeing as though this Six of Wands has been knocked off of his horse, maybe through this conflict, but he still gets up. He still is willing to fight. He's still willing to defend his territory. He's a survivor. So whether that relates to you or the person that you're in conflict with, basically they may fall off their high horse and they may not be the rescuer, but they're a survivor. So they'll keep getting knocked down and they'll keep getting back up. And you're just going to have to put your head down and focus on your work, Pisces, because this conflict, you can either take it seriously and have it be a lot of conflict, or you can like be playful with it and say, oh yeah, Emperor's not wearing any clothes. I don't necessarily have to be defensive about it, because you could become this Nine of Wands person too. So that's my reading for you, Pisces, for September. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I just want to say thank you for all the shares and the likes and the subscribes, and thanks to all those who are booking readings with me. Just remember, around that new moon, Pisces, you've got a decision to make. You know, put down one of the swords, walk away from what you're ready to walk away from, and trust your intuition. That's it wants to come up. Your subconscious really, really wants to come up. So that's my reading for you, Pisces. Thank you again.